Uh-oh, guys. See the smoke? That was me. I was down bagging the leaves. Thought I blew the tractor up. Let's get a look at it. Craftsman, the 2400. It was running great, and all of a sudden, boom! Made a popping sound and serious smoke. And it still ran. I drove it back up here. The smoke had let up a little bit until I was under power. So I'm going to disconnect the headlight switch, the wiring here. Remember how to do it. It's supposed to have a lock on it here somewhere. And then we'll pull this hood right off so I can see what's going on here. I knew I should have sold this, right? It's a 2012, maybe? And you gotta know when to stop spending money on them, you know? Okay. Maybe the hood doesn't come off on this with the bumper on, I don't remember. No, it's actually got clips on this model. Most of them tilt forward. This one has the little C-clips. Let me grab that. Pliers. So this has a little pin and clip, and it slides sideways and off. See, I don't recall taking the hood off. This has been pretty reliable. And it's all the stickers are gone. I think it's a 19 or 19.5 Briggs. Now, my mother had something similar on a Kohler. She mowing right along, heard a pop and a lot of smoke, and she lost compression. I didn't lose compression, but she had this going on. A mouse nest up under the shroud. See, it's starting to get into fall, and mice love to make nests. There's paper up in here. And what happens is might have happened on this one, is it'll overheat. And sometimes, you know, it'll blow a seal. In her case, what happened was the valve seat fell out, held the valve open. She got kind of lucky. I was able to fix that. So I'm going to take a lot of this stuff apart here and get down and see what's going on. This has that nicer air filter in it. See, there's a nest of something going on here. Looks like paper towels. There's a bolt. I'm sure there's two more in the back anyway. We get down farther. There are paper and items back here. Let me fire this up and see how it runs here. I don't have my key. I do. I thought I'd have to push it up, but it stayed running, you know. I was like, ooh. Prior to starting it, though, what kind of oil we got in it? Because it smoked so bad I couldn't see. I was on a side hill. Let me get a rag and see if this is full of oil. The oil we changed, what, in the spring or something. And it's on the full mark. It smoked so bad you couldn't see. You saw it. It's on the full mark. Pretty clean. See through it. 'Cause I take care of this pretty good, considering. I was bagging leaves. It's kind of heavy, wet down there. Let's start this up and see what it sounds like. I wonder what that was all about. Paper come out, you see it? Well, it's not skipping or anything. It smoked so bad that I couldn't see a thing. And I don't know what it's about, but it blew towels or something. Like, look at this stuff, like paper towel.
Mouse nest?
Yeah. You remember on Grandma's tractor, she had that Kohler. And what happened on that was they made a mouse nest up in here by the cylinder head. I bet they didn't like it when the engine was running. But it overheated and it threw a valve seat. This still ran. Hers did not run. I think we got, yeah.
A bunch of carbon there.
Can you reach it? Oh, yeah. What do we, look at this. Now, why would there be moss in there? You know there's a mouse. We're going to tear this apart. It probably overheated. They don't have a temperature gauge, obviously, but I think we got to pull the cover off. There's a couple other things I want to do to this. We did the brake recently. I want to adjust that again. Probably want to sharpen the blades because it's not bagging as good as it should. But let's get this thing tore off and see how big this nest is. The kitty cats aren't doing their job, are they? Tiger and squirrel better get working on that. Well, I got her all cleaned out as you saw. I don't see anything else wrong with it. I didn't see a mouse, but we did get quite a pile, you saw, of debris in there. I was bagging leaves, and I would expect it to be leaves, and it was like paper towels and a big pile of moss. So I think a mouse had started a nest. It could have overheated. It still runs good, but I think, without tearing it apart, it's probably got a blown head gasket. And the price of them are so cheap. I cleaned this off, and it's a 1402-17 ZD, and that fits many years. And I can get a head gasket, valve cover gasket, intake gasket, and a valve seal. I thought there'd be two in it, but it has one, so I'd put it on the exhaust. And $7.95, $7.97, $7.95, something like that. I can get it in a couple days. So I don't see any sense in tearing this apart because I'm not interested in putting like some cobbed up gasket on there, gooping it. I might as well get a gasket. If I'm going to tear it apart, I might as well fix it. But it runs. I'll probably start right up now, even though it's all tore apart here. I'll probably pressure wash it, get it clean. I think I have another air filter, but this has a sponge. I can probably wash it. And let's see what happens here. This always starts and runs good. It's worth fixing, so I guess that's all I see wrong. The breather's connected. It's not over full of oil. The oil's clean. It's probably just a head gasket. I've seen it many times. And on the back of the engine, I've got this thing. Model year 2014. I thought it was a 2012, but it's 2014. And it's in the very low of emissions. A 10 is the least clean, and a 1 is the most clean, and this is a 1, 2, like a 3. So this is pretty efficient. But if it smokes, it's going to use oil. I don't want something that's gotta add oil every time I run it. So I'll wait a couple days. We'll tear this apart. We'll put a head gasket in it. I probably can run it like this to finish up my day. As long as we keep oil in it, I don't see why not. I'll put all my parts aside so I don't lose anything, and I'll see you in a couple days. I want to take you for a little ride here to show you that it really does smoke. I know it doesn't show right now. Ooh, that sounds good. Now it doesn't want to run, but you see the smoke coming out? I don't know, maybe the head gasket is blown totally now. Check it out. There we go. We put it under load, you'll see the smoke coming out, and down below where the ground is off level by a lot, once the oil sloshes to the exhaust side, it starts smoking. Let's mow a little section here. I'm bagging. Oh, see the smoke coming out? It stinks too. Stinks now. See the smoke? Clouding up the place here. Under load, it'll smoke more here. There it goes. This is the last I'm going to do before we pull the engine apart. Just want to clean this circle. I mowed over by Dawson's building. Just in case we need additional parts and we're down for a couple more days, I want to get this cleaned up. Okay, I think we're going to leave this video at this, part 1. Part 2 will be the repair. We're going to have to get our tools around, disconnect our exhaust. We got our valve cover, our head, our intake, and this bracket on top. And that's about all. We get some tools out to take the head out, and then the head gasket. So stay tuned for part 2.